So the science of happiness tells us that the key factor of being happy is our sense of belonging, our sense of connection, our sense of community, and being part of a social network. But in our day-to-day reality, most of the time the opposite is true. We are terribly afraid of each other. And that has a long history. So for example, the way we meet in the West, that we shake hands, that comes from the Middle Age, where people were running around with swords and they were always ready to kill, they're always ready to fight. So if you have the right hand of your opponent in your right hand, nobody can kill each other. So the way we meet comes from a place of fear. And we can see that we are a lot of times insecure with other people, we are afraid to speak in public. When you look deeper, you can see that our mind is constantly full of judgment. We judge other people for what they're doing, what they're wearing, how they look like. We are afraid that other people will judge us, but that's the day-to-day fact. This is how we socialize basically with each other, and we carry that forth and forth. When you look at it, you see that every judgment has mainly one thing. You make somebody smaller. You are not good looking, you are not smart, you are not this, not that. It's making the other person smaller. So why do we have such a great need to make other people smaller, especially in our relationships with people we love the most, our partner? We have the feeling deep inside, there's something wrong with me. So the root cause is actually self-judgment. These kind of self-judgments are the main reasons for our suffering, our main reasons of distancing ourselves from others, and the gap we feel and the loneliness we feel with each other. And when it comes to judgments, I had a very, very powerful situation in my life when I was in hospital, and I woke up in a different room and there was a tough guy standing in front of me, and he was just the whole time running around and making everybody's life miserable, screaming at the nurses, just giving shit to the doctors. And I started talking with him, and he was tattooed all over, had a tear tattooed, and I said, hey, you have been in prison, what did you do? And he said, I broke into hardware stores because I was an alcoholic, I needed booze. They sent me to prison for 7 years. I was like, wait a second, you don't get 7 years for breaking into hardware stores. He was, yeah, I walked my dog over the street, a car came and killed my dog. And the guy wasn't even sorry, so I was beating him up, and if my brother wouldn't have stopped me, I would have killed him. My mind was completely filled with fear, with aversion, with anger about this guy. And then I sat down and I was writing, it was before Christmas, I was writing a story for my little niece. He looked at me and said, what are you writing? And I said, oh, a little Christmas story for my niece. And then he became really sad and said, oh, I also would love to be able to read and write. And I was just like, really? You are not able to read and write? You're German. How come? And he said, yeah, after the Second World War, my mother was taken hostage by Russian people and brought to an undercover raping camp. And me and my 4 brothers are the effect of this rape. So in this moment, I could see my mind shifting from a place of aversion and anger to pure compassion. Franz Kafka once said, never judge a person before you have seen his personal hell. And that's the same thing with your inner life. Whenever you start judging yourself, that you are not good enough, that you should be better, that you should perform better, that you should be more successful, have a deep look inside and have a look that all these stories you tell about yourself are all second-hand knowledge. This is all what other people have told you, how other people have behaved towards you, which made you believe that there's something inside of you which is not good enough. But identify it's a story. Identify that this is not you. Identify that you are not the sum of your past experiences, and have a look who you really are.